Suzie Yule Diadem here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Remember, living positive regardless. Doesn't matter the point at which you are in life, but we rock positivity all the way.
They'll be like, mbona nitumia pesa yangu na niko na boyfriend? Kwani kazi yake ni gani? You understand? And people be asking you paid for it. You mean you went out and paid for your own bill? Bwana yako ama boyfriend yako akiwa wapi? Kwani kazi yake ni gani? So it's not like women do not have. Because right now we have the aspect coming in where we are having a lot of economic empowerment for women. But what this economic empowerment is failing to do is not just telling a woman you need to have your own money. What is the purpose of this woman having her own money?
They know now they should be empowered, but they don't know why they are
why
getting
they need
empowered.
to use their money, because they are being told you need to be independent. And the independence was to reduce the codependence that women had on men, because sometimes a man can wake up and leave you, and then what happens when you have children? So I think that was one of the main reasons why they were educating young girls on you being able to have your own income and sustaining yourself and being able to support yourself even without the external help. But then that does not mean that because your man earns, you cannot contribute. Because if you're coming together to date, this should be a partnership. This is not your slave. This man also pay yako na vitu zake angependa kufanya na pesa yake. As much as he's taking care of you, it doesn't take anything away from a woman if you spend your money on your man. It doesn't take anything away from you. But women feel like, we in fact feel entitled to a man's money, and that's because today it's like, we are doing for you a favor by me being with you, so you should be able to,
but also I think if your woman is living with you in campus, she's fuaring for you, she's cooking for you, she's doing sex should not be for I'm doing it for him. It's the two of you
are both
for each
enjoying,
other.
exactly.
But when a man now exposes you to nikufulie manguo, nikupikie, I think now that's where the gap is coming, and the woman is feeling, then if I'm doing this, then you should be the one to provide, because tuki grow up, by the way, tuliona our moms doing these things, and na sisi tulijua our dad provides. So psychologically, if I'm doing this, I'm like the mom in the house, so the dad also in the house should be also. Now I'm looking at all this, and I want you to help us understand where we can help this young girl, because when you talk about those relationships in campus, all I'm seeing are complications. People want money, people want I don't know what, they are getting heartbroken, they are killing each other. How necessary is it for one to be in a relationship while she's in school or while he's in school? How necessary is it?
I think it is necessary, if you ask me, because as I told you, I think it's a phase of life. Because I feel like kila mtu amekuwa na first love, and most of the time when you hear people wanasema mimi kuna msichana nilikuwa nimependa huko campus, the people who actually were in love in high school, and then there are people who will come and fall in love in university, and then the people can actually go through university without falling in love, not interested, atoke then akuja pate mtu wake huku nje. I cannot say that it is not necessary, I cannot say it is necessary, but because you might be the lucky few that gets a partner in university and mtoke kama mume songa together, because that also happens. It's just not as common as before kama kitambo. Right now it is more rare because of the fact that I'm telling you sex is readily available. So because sex is readily available, there is no that urgency and need to commit to each other, because even if I leave you today, I can have sex with somebody out here. And for men, that's key. Right now you cannot, most guys, if you're just being honest, most men would not be in a relationship with a lady if you're not providing sex. You understand? And the thing is, I was telling you, this comes back to now to the role of traditional and modern woman, because most men before expect a modern woman, the traditional woman, who our job was to cook, clean, take care, and ensure the house is well kept and all that. Now, but we do not have that woman anymore. Most of them, at least, are not the traditional woman. But then we expect traditional type of treatment that was given to that particular woman, where a man should be the provider, a man should be taking care of all my needs. If I want this, they should be able to buy. But then that was because I wasn't working. My job was to take care of his needs, our kids and our house, and ensure that he was in the best state of mind and body to be able to provide for the family. Right now, these things have changed, and that's why there's this whole pressure in university for people to be in relationship. That also comes down to most people are afraid by being themselves. Most of us are actually afraid to not just be in a relationship. Like, there are very many people who are very uncomfortable with who they are as a person. So because we've constantly been taught by the society to seek validation from other people, that's why when there are people who are in relationship where they're not happy, but these people are actually validating them, making them feel like, at least I have somebody at the end of the day that I can get back and talk to. Kuna mtu ananipigia niambie nimekumiss and all that. It's not that people are happy, but people are wondering, if I left this person and then all my friends are in a relationship, what will they think? So the relationships are not necessary. It's not like there's anyone has ever died for not being in a relationship. Yeah, they could be avoided. Some of these issues we are seeing where people are killing each other, this whole stress where young boys feel the pressure to be something and get into jobs. Actually, so one loyalty test where this young man decided to join pornographic shootings to be able to sustain the kind of lifestyle the girlfriend wanted. All this could be avoided if how Andrew Kibe and Amerix advises young men, focus. Like, at this young age, work on yourself.
Umeenda shule.
Focus.
Umeenda shule.
Do what took you there. Study, get your money, work on your goals. Then anawaambianga huko mbele you will meet those women. You understand? But I feel like right now, because we all want to do all these things at a go, we are trying to study, we are trying to look for money, we are trying to be in a relationship, and everything is just jumbled up. At the end of the day, you cannot all finish these things at a go. One of them has to suffer. It could be the study, it could be the relationship where you could end up being killed because you are with somebody who was toxic or anything. But then also we need to define for people what a healthy relationship looks like. I don't feel like most people have an idea what a healthy relationship looks like, especially in Africa, where if you're in a suffering relationship, people see you are resilient. And you love the guy. That's how you prove your love. If you're in a situation where you're suffering, I don't feel like there's any price for suffering. There is no gift you're going to be given at the end of the day for suffering with this man, or suffering with this lady. But then we've been, I know, you are there. We are sleeping hungry. Which, if you're okay doing it, it's okay. But then you see, that's what we've also been told. That's how love comes. Like, if you can be able to suffer with this guy, then unampenda. And then utapata now this guy akipata doa anakuacha.
True. Because what you're forgetting, young girls, is that today you're very beautiful and very young, and you're thinking now wewe ndiye kusema, and you're forgetting kuna tule tuko class 8 na seko tunamaliza. So before umalize
soko umetolewa, wengine wanakuja. Things are changing so fast. So I'm feeling like we are agreeing, and I would wish this conversation to open up the mind of especially the young girls who are coming to campus. We are agreeing that it is not so necessary, because what we are saying is you have a whole life to live. You went to school for studies. When you've achieved that, why would you come out with so much bruise in your heart that you've been heartbroken by 1, 2, 3 people? Because now the only thing I've heard, like you're saying, is about validation. Yeah, you feel good when a guy is telling you look beautiful and all that. And I want, maybe for us parents, we need to be able to make our kids feel what the men are making them. Not even men only. Like, I have a brother in campus, and more I would want him to know that he's cute before any other girl tells him he's cute. Because the moment he knows he's cute, a girl telling him he's cute, it's nothing.
He knows. Like, he knows. Tell me something more.
I don't know.
What you were saying is that I don't know. So I think it is also, because if it is about validation, I mean, your esteem should be already secure. Do you think these relationships are affecting the study bit of it now that we are feeling like everyone is feeling that it's valid to be in one relationship? How is it affecting the studies and all that?
So it depends. There are ladies who squeeze unajua vitu zimechange, as we were saying. It's not like kama kitambo wenye wasichana wengi walikuwa madly in love, when women were in love, we tend to forget ourselves and everything else. that comes with it.
And I wish you took that love, let it be, because I'm not sure it's love.
It could be infatuation.
Thank you.
Right? But then it's very difficult telling infatuation from love, because infatuation comes very strong and you're feeling like, oh my God, I would even die for this man. What you mean I've been living all this time without this young man? And for women, we tend to fall in love quickly, because a woman can train her heart to love a man, but if a man does not love your story, to make imekatika hapo na hapo. So when you look at it this way, most women, when I'm in love and all my attention is now on this man, I want to make him feel like, oh, I am the best girl he could have found. And when I'm telling you, when a woman loves, our whole life revolves around a man. So once my focus is on this man, akiniambia babe leo usiende class, university nobody cares if you go to class, especially if you're in public. In universities, the private, they'll call your parent, I have not seen your daughter in class twice. What's not happening? But in public, the people do not come to the class a whole semester, and nobody will even notice they were not there. So when he tells you, babe, today why don't we spend time together, we've not gone, we've not spent time, and you're like, what's the harm in skipping class? Today you skip. It could be a pattern that you end up not going to class. Or if you're a campus wife and you have wifely duties and there's a class here probably, you might need to forgo one. At the end of the day, these two things cannot align together. One of them will have to go first, and the other will have to come second, and one of them will suffer. Because you cannot finish 2 races at a go. So one has to be the first one. It could be education, depending on how you're prioritizing it, or it could be love. But if it's for a woman who is definitely and feeling like I am in love, the kind of puppy love that we have, that first love that makes you have the rush and feeling like my whole world is this person, then most likely the studies would suffer. But with men, I've come to realize men can really keep the two together.
Okay.
Like for a man, it's easier for them to maintain the stability of their lives, even when they're in a relationship. They can keep the relationship and still work on their goals the same way they were working on it before they got into this whole relationship. So for them, they might still finish the studies and do better, but a woman most likely it has stopped, depending on how much invested you are in this guy and in the relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Kib, having known that and seeing that it may affect more women than it might have dire effect to women more than it is to men, what is your word to those young ladies who are looking forward and they're excited, they have passed the exams and they are coming now? When they are coming, they are saying, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a teacher. They've not said anything, I want to be a lover, I want to be someone's sweetheart, I want to be all that. What is your word? Because right now I believe their mind is so fresh with what they want to achieve. Now ndio hao wanakuja campus. You've gone through the whole system, you've seen first hand, I don't want to say first hand because I don't know, maybe you should have told us if you have gone character development in those years of studies. But I would wish you talk to that campus girl that they may understand as they come in what is their expectation. Kandona, because already they know wanataka kusoma. That is actually what is bringing them there. They know what they want to become in future. So expose them to the other things that they are likely to meet and how you would wish them to handle it, so that they are able to achieve this what they have come up with.
First of all, I think the one advice I'd give them is they can have it all, not just at the same time. Like they can have everything they want in life, but not just at the same time. Some of these things come in a particular order. You have to work for them to get there. Like I don't think you can serve 3 masters at a go and expect to be able to have fulfilled whatever you wanted to fulfill from them all at a go. I think that's for me is the main advice. You can have it all, but not at the same time. But in terms of campus relationships, let's say for a boy child who's dating a campus girl, and they were in love and things went wrong, and unfortunately, or for some weird reason, they ended up in an altercation and the guy ended up killing the lady. Both parents have lost a child. You understand? Well, that's what people forget. It's not just the person who's lost. The other one is dead, but this other one, his life is also lost in the process because he'll never go back to be the same person. And even though these young guys also impregnate campus girls, I don't think majority of them sit down and think of the repercussion of the action. I feel like it's like most decisions that are actually made instant in that moment and how they're feeling in that particular moment, and then the repercussions and consequences of the action hit them later. You understand?
Yep.
I don't think it's like the guy decides I'm going to impregnate this lady and then I disappear.
Yep.
No, I don't think that's the whole idea. I think these are young two people who are just trying to explore what they had not had a chance to explore all along. And before engaging in these acts, they do not sit down and think, if we do this, what is likely to come out of this? Because when people engage in sex, there are definitely 3 outcomes. You're either going to get pregnant, get a disease, or be lucky enough and get none, or be unlucky enough and get both. You know, you could have both a disease and a baby. You could be lucky and come out without any.
Yeah.
And and then that also brings us to the whole question here: how well are these people informed in terms of protecting themselves when it comes to sex? Because right now people are having sex, but then we are not willing to have conversation on how we want to structure this whole thing about now the fact that the sex is so readily available out there. The repercussions are different, because even for this young man who's going to deny this child, deep down he will know, I have a child somewhere. And that also, I'm sure, for some, I don't know, I cannot say for sure, but I'd want to assume inamsumbua psychologically that akona mtoto mahali na alikata huyo mtoto. And even when they're studying, it might be different for a young guy mwenye hana any type of responsibility. Sure. And then there are also young guys who impregnate these young girls and actually accept responsibility.
Sure. For
having impregnated these girls. And that's why you see sometimes a young man ending up marrying a young lady, and these people unaona tu ni wadogo, but then they end up staying together because now alishapatia mshana wenyewe mimba, and he doesn't want, maybe he didn't live with his dad and he doesn't want to be also part of the problem, so he also wants to now be to be that father figure to his child because he didn't have that. So pia how does that affect his life? It's just not the woman who's being affected. I feel like both of them get affected, but just differently, you know. So my advice would be basically, maybe before you engage in these things, what if we sat down and decided we are going to engage in sex? What are we aiming to get out of having this sexual experience? Because you need to put it clear, are we just having fun? Is there something more that we want to get out of it? And if you are not ready, are you ready to be a parent? No. Are you ready to be a parent? No. Then take repercussions to ensure that you both do not become parents, you know. At the end of the day, I think it has its consequences. Mm-hmm. The fact that you can have multiple partners, it might not be immediate, but I've read articles that explain that having multiple partners might really be problematic for somebody who wants now to settle in the near future. Yeah. Because there's a lot of comparison going on. Sure. And you're not comparing this guy to 1, 2 or 3 guys. You could be comparing this guy to even 10 men. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yeah. And for women, we like doing a lot of comparison, and it's actually just unconscious. Not even women alone, generally both men and women, you know. Mm-hmm. And you've been used to getting a particular type of life and treatment and sex, and then you probably getting married to a person who's not any of those things. It might be problematic in terms of when you staying faithful to your man. True. Right? Yep. I've read articles and I've had people say that it is quite problematic. True. For somebody who was so used to exploring before. And that's why I think most men are actually very interested in a woman's past. Like what type of sexual relationship you've had with people. And because for them, I think they kind of know that it's going to be problematic huko mbele, you know. But for me right now, probably mtu atasema sahi hainidhuru because probably sijapata mtu mwenye nataka kusettle na yeye. But then also having this unprotected sex, we've not touched on the issue that there's a lot of abortion that actually go on in campuses. Because of having unprotected sex that end up in most girls getting pregnant. And you know, as much as we are saying it's okay for people to work with mimba university, there's still a stigma that is tied to kutembea na mimba university, unaona. Especially hata kama hujaolewa. Hata mi right now nimemaliza shule, but if I got pregnant today, I still feel like my mom would be uncomfortable with me being pregnant and I do not have a husband. You know, I feel like people just accept when now ukiwa umeolewa, that's the best time to actually be carrying a child. But anytime you carry a child that you've not, and there's no person who's claiming you to be the wife, then people still feel like it's a wrong choice, you know. But then also that could also be tied to the fact that most men do not also want women with kids. But then these things also started because we as a society have not been honest from the beginning. We've been pretending these things are not happening, and then now zimefanyika to a point now people are not feeling the need to make them a secret anymore. So we are all out here condemning everyone for seeing different, but we know that these things are happening.
They're happening, true.
You know, and your children are actually part of the perpetrators of these vices that parents are thinking, this is such a rotten generation. And it's your child out there who's...
that rotten generation. It's your fruit.
You know, so maybe if you exposed your child, things would be different. Exposure opens your mind. So when you get to certain situations, you do not get surprised. When you go and people are telling you we have sex, and you're not like, what is sex? When you're going out there and your friends, everyone is having a boyfriend, and you tell your kid there's nothing wrong with you being the odd one out. Because people most times want to be part of the crowd. Because when you're the odd one out, it feels like you're the one who's doing something wrong. And sometimes the crowd is actually the people who are doing what is wrong. Because we are so afraid of being the person that is left behind. Tunaonekana wewe ni mshamba, you do not know what you want. So most people tend to be part of the crowd just to feel like they belong.
Doing what, a sense of belonging. You want to feel like you also know.
You also know. At the end of the day, these people, most of these people, and you saw in the case of HIV and AIDS. In fact, statistics show that sex workers are more safe as compared to any other person out there who's not a sex worker. Because these people know this is my job, I need to protect myself. But then we are out here telling each other, oh, having sex with a condom is like having a sweet with its wrapper on. You know, those kind of expressions that, you know, and this thing, expressions, I actually have a problem with these expressions. You know, even how people say, ukiachwa oga rudi soko. You know, they seem so innocent. And they're said out of fun. But what people forget is your mind internalizes this information. Pole. And somehow they kinda interferes with your reality. Because that's when unapatanga siku hizi mtu ameenda, ulikuwa in a relationship, umeachwa, kesho they're already hunting. They have not healed. They have not sorted out what was wrong, what went wrong in the other relationship. They did not find what was their fault, what they needed to improve. You get to another relationship, you are hurting someone, and you see, that's why we are having cycles of people who are psychos out here killing each other, because it's psychotic at some point. Unless people are feeling the sense of ownership, because maybe mtu mwenye alifanywa this is the first time. It's not the first time. Amefanyiwa tena. So atashangaa mbona mimi peke yangu nafanywaanga hivi this time, kama pia mimi I have to do this, you know. And in that moment anafanya one action that alters their course of life forever. Ameua mtu, unaona. And you realize after you've done it, it's because only hurt people are the ones who are hurting each other out here. And I think everyone is actually out here hurt. We are not just willing to sit down and say, you know what, I went through this and this changed my life in this aspect. And this is how I need to move forward from today onward. So we are all trying to, you know, like lie to ourselves that we are okay, that I'm okay, and the other person they are kona shida. So we also do projection a lot. So I make my problems, you are the problem. So if I'm having insecurity, I make you feel like you're the one who's cheating.
Insecure.
You know, it doesn't mean I accuse you are cheating because I'm insecure, you know. And sometimes you find I'm the one actually who's cheating, but guilt inanisumbua. So I project that on you to make me feel good about myself. That happens a lot, and people do not realize. And this is because everyone is hurt out here. Sometimes I feel like all Kenyans should be at Madare.
People are hurting out there.
And we need to have those, because these people are the same people going to be parents. And then what type of adults are they going to bring out? That they actually go to have counseling. Because right now we have young kids becoming moms. We have teenage pregnancies. Watu wanazaa, honestly, sana. Wanazaa sana.
And the young for these kids are the one when
they're less than 25. You know, 25, not married, right?
Sometimes I feel they don't even know exactly who is the father, because they're engaging in sex when they are...
That's another problem.
People are taking all these drugs, and so you even don't know very sure who is the father.
Who is the father of the child. Now you're just assuming this one, let me wait how he looks like, then I look for the one that looks like this. You know, that happens a lot, you know. And that's why men are out here raising kids that they are not their own. You know, and women know. Mwanamke anajuanga sometimes when this might not be his child. But if I went up and messed up today and I got pregnant and I have a boyfriend, definitely I'm gonna sleep with my boyfriend and tell him the pregnancy is his.
True.
So, atajuaje nilicheat, you know, because it's very hard to tell if a woman is cheating as compared to a man. Men actually usually do something different that they don't do, that it makes them get caught all the time. But women, if they've mastered the art, it's very hard to tell if a woman is actually stepping out on you, because they'll come back and cook you your favorite food, give you the best time, whatever, you're feeling like, oh God, I'm blessed.
So today we even having problem of ladies or girls who really can't tell. Even them, they are not sure who is the father
of the child.
of this child. A very unfortunate situation and in the society. Wow. What a session. I love this session, and I hope and I believe that someone will see this and they will have to think twice before they engage into something that they are not so sure what the repercussions would be. And my desire and my wish is that whatever that dream that you had when you already got into campus, for those who are already there, whatever dream that you had, please keep at it. Keep looking at it. Even if you decide or you feel the pressure is too much, you have a relationship, don't forget this one. Let these ones, the rest, be sideshows which should not take all your attention and make you not achieve this. Because at the end of the day, if you come out without that, those other things won't count. Nobody will want to know how many boyfriends you had in campus. It won't even help even if we got to know anyway. So I feel and I wish and I pray that this message talks to you, young people in campus, those who are coming in campus, that you should be able to know what exactly took you in that institution. And not only in schools, sometimes even when we are, it's not even about even the school per se, it's about the focus. Even us who are out here, sometimes you go to an office, know what took you there, because you'll find also hawa watu wenye wanafanyanga hizi tabia campus ndio hao wanakujanga kwa hizi ofisi, so it's not so much different anyway.
Yeah, but also let me just add something. I think this is also feminism. Feminism has changied a lot of things that is happening in campus. You know, right now feminism advocates that we tell women that, you know, their value is not tied by is not tied to the number of men they've slept with. And they say that your value is not tied to your vagina as a woman. And you know, those are phrases that I was telling you, I have a problem with these phrases. And we are going out here telling women, you know, you and men are equal. What are those things doing to these young girls when they're going to campus? Because right now you're already telling me, even if I sleep with 100 guys, I'm still the same person. My value is still constant, because I'm not, even if I sleep with 100 guys, my value is not changing. But we know that is a lie. That is a lie, because there's something definitely changing when you're going about and sleeping with every Tom, Dick and Harry you meet out there. But then I'm telling you that even if you go, we teach our girls that your dress is your choice. Who's your girl meeting out there? Your girl is not going to walk in his father's road, on her father's road, right? Your son is not walking in the road that you built. So it's not like it's only you seeing your son who's dressed indecently. Your son is meeting today probably his future boss. And he's not even aware that this is my future boss. And his future boss is looking at him and feeling this is a very a person who's not very serious with life, you know? Because I'm looking at this girl and thinking, you know, these are the girls that we see here today, I want a future, want a mbele, they're looking for easy cash. Already that's a perspective that this person already has about you. What one day you walk into an office and then this is the person who you've gone to look for a job from, and they met you wearing whatever you are wearing because you know your dress is your choice, right? And then I feel like if we are empowering women and we are telling women that you know your value, because your value is not tied to your dressing, why is it that they still feel the need to expose and show their body so that you can show people that I'm actually confident in my body? Because if you're confident in your body, you do not need to prove to anyone that you're actually confident in your body. In fact, if you respect yourself, you should be covering yourself, right? Because whatever is valuable is not easily, gold is valuable. You cannot easily find gold out here, right?
It's not exposed
everywhere that you're just going to pick it. Oh, this is gold, let's pick gold. You know, of course we don't do that. So if you're teaching your women, and we are saying we're empowering women, we are saying feminism advocates for the fact that we need women to understand their value in themselves. We are teaching women to be educated. We are telling you need to be independent and reduce the codependency on men and all these things. At the end of the day, why is it that we're having the opposite of what we expect? Because sleeping with 100 guys, and let's be honest and tell young girls the truth. That's a lie. Whoever is telling you that you and a man are equal, I don't even know where feminism got that ideology. I still want to understand how that phrase came about. But even when God in his own creation in how he created a man and a woman, we are complementary human beings. We are not equal. If I was equal, I don't think God needed to create Eve. Because Adam would be able to do everything himself, right? But there are things Adam cannot do that he needed Eve to be there to do. And that's what we have today. There's a thing that men can do that a woman cannot do even in 100 years. Whether you are given all the empowerment the world can give you, you have money, you have everything. There are things you cannot do that you need a man to do for you. And the same thing, the things that a man cannot do, whether amepoa the whole world that is fit, that you still need a woman to be there to do. And that's what we say, we are complementing each other. When we come together, we kind of work together, we fit. So that you bring in and I bring this. But we are not equal. And those are the narratives that you see these young girls. You might not be aware, they might not even be aware, but those are the things they follow. We dress like the way we want in campus. You see girls coming to class with the booty shorts to lecture halls. Your lecturer is a man. We understand that men are also visual creatures. So this young girl is coming, and then these days we like wearing these things that also only cover the boob and our stomachs are out and everything. And it's okay if somebody is feeling comfortable with all that, and I'm okay if you're feeling comfortable, that's good. But at the end of the day, what's the image and what society are we creating when these are the kind of things that we want? Because umesema vizuri, that girl who's in campus, the person who's coming to work in your office.
True.
Right? And if she's already feeling like I can steal your man, and there's nothing big with us sharing, it's a lie. Because what is valued is not easily available. That's the key. If you are valuable and you respect yourself and you're feeling like I'm empowered enough, that's my message. Like, these women are feeling I'm empowered. I am the prize. Remember the prize. You cannot be easily available to every man. Not every man can be able to sleep with you. The fact that you're already sleeping with every man, it shows you are cheap. Because only what is cheap is what is easily available and easily available, right? But if you're going to teach me and saying I am empowered, what is empowerment? That's what we should need to define. Because I feel like the empowerment that we preach out here for women is just ideology that actually used to cover. It's like an umbrella that we are using to cover all the vices that women these days do, and then we are saying, before we used to do that. No, and it's because women are trying to compete with men. Right now we are cheating because we're saying men cheat all the time. Let me tell you, men control relationships, women control sex. Right now, even that sex that we control is no longer a power that we have because it's everywhere. Men can pay to sleep with anyone. If you katai leo, there's a lady who's willing to give your man that sex. So before ilikuwa ungesema sikupei na anajua kuipata mahali ni ngumu. Right now, even that power ya control that sex, we do not even have. So you're already sleeping with every Tom, Dick and Harry. You're already exposing everything out there for other people to see. And then you're all coming here and saying, well, it's not my work to cook because I'm an independent woman, right? It's not my job to be taking care of you. Am I your mother? So you tell me, why should this man be spending his money on you? What is the value that you're bringing to the table? And women are not willing to have those conversations because most of the times what we bring to the table is just sex. If we remove the equation of sex, what else are we bringing to the table? Because I was hearing somebody saying men are not opposed to supporting women's dreams. The only thing is women do not have dreams that are worth supporting. Which I tend to think it is true because most of my dreams is owning Brazilian hair. Which is 30,000.
And I think the message I have for you girls is that those things that they will tell you, there are things that men will come and tell you. Even you men, there are things that these girls will tell you. Just know they are not new. There's nothing that they are telling you. They're asking you where you've been all that time. They know you are schooling, and after that, there's another girl who is schooling, they still don't know where she is. So the girl will still appear and she will be asked, where have you been all this time? So nothing new that these guys are going to tell you. It has been said, it is a repeat of the time, it shall continue to be repeated. Keep focused, and we are praying and wishing you all the best in your studies. I'm praying that you complete your high school, your campus life, university studies, healthy and okay, without those sexual transmitted diseases and without character development and those heartbreaks, because we need you whole out here. We need sober minds out here, and we would want to have our brothers marrying virgins. We want to have our sisters getting married to virgins. So please keep morality at its pace, and then all shall be well. If you've not subscribed my viewer, please subscribe, share with someone about this information. Please share with someone. Let the world get to know and get to learn together. Bye.
Thank you.